Kill the white man, not the brother man, because the brother man is the right man. But what I will not be is a slave. You gotta understand this. We not our great grandfathers and stuff. We's knows how to read now. We's knows how to shoot guns now. We's learned how to write and whoops ass now.
Bruh. Shorty.
Shorty, would you be mine? Would you be mine? Shorty, would you be mine?
Bruh. I had to get the car started.
Put this picture up. Put that up today. As soon as you leave.
Cool.
Or get back from the gym. I just want to go sit. I want to sit in the jacuzzi and oh yeah, we gotta hurry up.
I don't know if the Y got a jacuzzi. That everything I gotta add.
I've offered you to come to my gym umpteen times.
I ain't know they had a jacuzzi, bro.
Damn.
Jacuzzi video? It be niggas in there? We should go when it ain't nobody in there.
It be some white people in there, but they get out usually when I get in. And I be so happy.
Africa.
I be so happy. They see me come like, here comes this. I be like, show live, here I come. I be in there comfortable. I be having my video up.
Back
I be having my arms sitting like this, like, y'all can head out whenever y'all ready. There's one guy in there, he always in there, he just speak. He an old white man, he just speak. He be like, hey, what up? You know, after a few times seeing each other in the gym, it's like, hey, this is where we see each other all the time. This is like the meeting point. He go at a set time every time. 9:30 is my time for the hot tub / jacuzzi. I don't care what rep I'm in, what set I'm in, working out. When that watch say 9:30, I put whatever I'm doing down. I go to the locker room, go prepare myself for the jacuzzi. Cause the gym closes at 10. Cause don't nobody want to work past 10. So I got to get my little 15 minutes. Then I have to have like a little 5-minute cool off because it'd be a little hot, you know, just going from there to there. And then that's that. But I've been sick all week, so y'all pray for my throat. That's what singers say when sing.
Got the blood
something.
throat, bro.
So y'all, the devil's been messing with my throat all week, so you all pray with me through this episode.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to today's episode of Solutions. So on today, we're going to be discussing
Who are we?
You calling me belligerent, bro.
YNs.
You don't need to know who we are. You just need to know we putting in work.
All right, well, let's get to it.
That's completely wrong. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to today's episode of Solutions. I'm Cam.
I'm Jay Phillip.
And on today, we are discussing how diversity, equity, and inclusion policies are not the solution. And what we believe are formidable solutions to replace them that will actually benefit the black community. With that said, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and enjoy the video. For real.
Wow.
I'm so serious.
Yeah, he said, try this kombucha. It's supposed to reset my stomach, so we gonna see.
Bro, you gonna leave this in the video?
Yep, because that's what people like to see. Anyway. Might as well have some food content in too. I should have ate my nachos while we was talking the whole time.
So, kombucha is actually really good for you. What it does is it regulates your stomach. It basically communicates with your gut. People hear about gut health. Gut health is huge for
You can keep going.
how you feel, whether you like body odor, not all of that, bro. Like regulating your gut is huge. Like cutting weight, maybe acne, all of that is tied to your gut health. First thing I think we need to acknowledge is how we have completely allowed the white man to redo our culture. So, for example, the music that we listen to is promoted by these labels that are either not owned by our people or owned by people that are really products of the environment that are perpetuating the BS that goes into our community. You look at the whole F my baby daddy culture, which I speak about in basically every video at this point in time, when all of the real wealth that you know of, like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, it's very difficult for you to have a family legacy when you're a baby daddy or a baby mama and there's no unity in the household. So that's ultimately where it starts. I know I basically talk about that in every video, but if you all haven't noticed, every topic that we go over comes back to the household, back to the family structure. So you all may be asking, what does this have to do with DEI policies? In my eyes, you remove the ability for people to think on their own. We're perpetually stuck in a state of consumerism, and that's intentional, because every time that you spend money is going to either a business or a municipality that's mishandling your funds, honestly, because how is like $2 trillion of the national debt limit unaccounted for? But we believe that voting is the solution, right? So I think that we're in a state as a people where we're thinking 4 years at a time, and I believe that we need to think 50 years at a time. And that does require a sense of unity, which will require you to be an individual, which would require you to disconnect from all of the forces that the people are controlling, that are controlling your thought process, therefore controlling your actions. But let's take a step back. What are some ways that you feel like we could think 50 years ahead as a people? Something that you've seen. It could be dealing with the younger generation, a recurring theme, something that you, maybe a concept that you came up with.
I think that we can really succeed, but we have to, like you said, it has to be unity. I think we can have Black Wall Street back times 50 again in 50 years. It's definitely possible with the intelligence that we have now, you know, the education that we have now, the experiences that we have now. You know, we weren't traveling the world as much 50, 60 years ago. You know, I ain't, you know, and no shade to our grandparents. You want your next generations to do better than you. That's why we saying in 50 years we can have what we gonna have. But like, I didn't hear about my granddad and great grandma. Oh yeah, we went to Dubai. Oh yeah, we was over in Puerto Rico. Like, no, they was working, so that our parents can grow up, go to school, have a better life, and then so now our parents can have a, you know, can do us better. So I think if we keep going on that road, we can have, I would love to see Black Wall Street in my lifetime again. Now under this administration, I know things will be hard, you know, but I think if we do stick together, that's our thing. If we do stick together, we can have Black Wall Street. We can, I mean, we can literally take over. I mean, and I say going back to Africa is the plan, but we got to stick together on that as well. It's going to be a fight too. So, but I'm not going to ramble too much on that. But yeah, that's how I feel.
So, as he shared, as far as, you know, the administration we're under right now, I really don't want to, well, put it this way, we're going to discuss politics, we're going to make it solution oriented. I believe that, yes, the most pressing things in my eyes are the purging of Black history. You know, he was removing the history of the Tuskegee Airmen, and, you know, but if you in school, that makes Black people believe that their history started in slavery, which is ultimately why the younger generation are why they are today, because they only saw their parents working extremely hard for something, or if they did have relatively affluent parents, they only saw them go and get liabilities. So they either became spoiled children or they became children that just became products of their environment based on their community, not inherently the household specifically, because there was no structure in their household, which is also systematic, which is an entire different video. The household is literally like 85% systematic. Like literally at least 85% systematic. So we make it seem like your history started in slavery. We give you probably 15 school days of Black history, if that. At this point in time, you most likely have to have a Black teacher that's favoring that wants to cover that, or have to take Afro AM studies in college, which I had to do to learn about the Black Panthers and the Chicago chapter of the Black Panthers, that is, and Fred Hampton and his story, and how they put over 90 bullets into his household with his pregnant wife next to him when he implemented a free breakfast program. I'm saying this man was about unity and peace. And they assassinated, the police cut the power to his entire block on the west side and killed them in the middle of the night. I'm saying a group of white men. Now what they won't tell you about is William O'Neill, who gave the police the blueprint to his house. That's the problem. That's the unity piece that we talk about. You have to make sure that in this path that you avoid selling out. Like, speaking about the school systems, they're going to tell you that your history started in slavery. We kind of going to stimulate you on black history. We're going to give you just enough to say that it's in the curriculum. But we're going to tell you that Christopher Columbus was Jesus Christ. So you have to think on your own. Like, same way we share, like, you see an Asian man on the street, you ask him where he's from. You expect Thailand, you expect Vietnam, you expect China, you expect Japan, whatever. You ask a black man the same question, they say Dallas, Texas. Oh yeah, I know some people from. That's not where you from. You're not from Mississippi. You're not from Texas. You're from a country. I digress.
Or a continent.
No, you're from a country in Africa is what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. Oh, but you didn't want. Okay.
It's important that we mention how Harvard has decided to disband their slavery remembrance program. The same Harvard that has a $50+ billion endowment. So this was clearly a choice. And as we see, all of these major corporations are rescinding their DEI programs. And in my eyes, my timeline is, primarily black-owned businesses. But here and there, you have people that sit up and complain about these primarily Caucasian-owned corporations rescinding their black policies. What did you expect? What is the alternative? Like, we as a people have to get out of the victim mentality. Like, obviously it's unfortunate. Obviously they rigged the system, yes. But at what point in time do we assume a position of accountability? Because the people that are relatively affluent, according to our people, the people with real money are in private equity, venture capital, like asset classes that actually matter. Not rappers, not athletes, not celebrities. Like, you have to really know what real money looks like. And those are the individuals that you hold accountable, in addition to all of the other people that I mentioned. Notice I didn't say exalt. The people that you should be exalting and celebrating are the people that run organizations like the Chicago Urban League, nonprofit workforce development agency, black leadership, black teams, complementary business consulting, people that are putting real resources in the black communities. Because we have this theme of, make it out the hood. Making it out the hood means that you have European liabilities, you live in a neighborhood primarily composed of people that don't look like you, and make it very clear that they don't like you, and then you force your kids to go to school with their kids, and now you dealing with race problems opposed to rebuilding the community that you grew up in, which is a common theme for, say, celebrities, say, athletes that made it out of said communities. You all have to collaborate with the people that are still in the communities that understand and want to make a difference. Because when you bridge the gap in resources and connections, that's when we'll change the black community. If you wait on the white man to rebuild your community, you're not going to own nothing. And if you don't own anything, you don't control anything. That's why there's a disconnect as far as the DEI policies and black people seeing the growth that we actually want to see here in the United States. So, wouldn't you agree that the United States has shown us time and time again that politics is important, but politics alone isn't the solution for the black community?
I'm not a big fan of politics. I grew up in politics. My family has been in politics my whole life. I wouldn't say it's not the solution for black people. We have to get the right people in, but they have to do what they said they were gonna do for the black people, for the community. Unfortunately, now it's not gonna be like a overnight type of thing. Like, nobody's gonna get in office and then it's gonna be like all of a sudden all black people get their 40 acres and they mule, this, that, and the third. It's gonna be progress, but it just kind of seemed like we don't get the progress that we need. It's like everybody else kind of get their due diligence, but we don't. So if we get somebody in that's actually gonna go in there, as 47 is going so hard on his policies that he getting in office first day and getting office and pardoning 1,600 people. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't saying just go get in and just let criminals out, but we ain't had nobody of color get in office and just hook us up. We just want to hook up. Everybody else got to hook up.
We only had one person of color in office as well.
We only had one person of color in office. In one position, we had another person of color in office in a position right under.
Yeah.
You know, while I think they both did, you know, okay, definitely could have been better. You know, I have some friends that think otherwise. Well, some people that think otherwise. It is what it is. You know, I'm not here to debate politics, honestly. I don't really debate. I'm just going to vote. If my vote went to the winner, went to the winner. If it didn't, it didn't. You know, but I just say, hey, I did it. I voted. You know, I did my part. I did my research. I voted for the person who I thought was the better candidate. Whether they get in, they get in. If they don't, they don't. But we still got a lot of work to do with each other. Like in our community, I guess we can just start in our communities until everybody gets it together. But then when you see certain communities, we ain't gonna name the city, certain communities having riots at their board meetings. Yeah. You know, it's kind of like, dang, y'all setting us back, Father. And you know, we need, like, we can at least start in our own city, then get to our state, then we can work our way out the country, you know. But we can't even, well, they can't get their city because Park Forest would never.
So I genuinely believe, well, put it this way, in my eyes, if we can raise $1 billion for a political campaign, we can raise $1 billion for private equity.
I agree.
Like some sort of investment firm that can intentionally allocate resources to the communities in need. Like, there's no reason why Michigan Avenue in the hundreds looks the way that it does. When I was younger, there were, you know, businesses that were still up and running. The virus and all of the rioting, where people were really just using George Floyd as an excuse to go do anything, put it that way. That's the PG version, just do anything. Yeah. Y'all are attacking black-owned businesses. Yeah. The barbershop I used to get my hair cut at on Michigan is now boarded up. I'm driving down, you got Chase and it's a store closing sign on the gate in the same strip mall. Like, we have to intentionally put resources in our own communities, because I personally have been in the same room, been forced to collaborate with, I'd say, multi-6-figure and some of them even 7-figure entrepreneurs, all black and brown. And the lack of urgency, the lack of just care in general. It's just like, yeah, you made it, but did you really? Because if you think about it, the companies that people have their 401k with, the public companies, the multi-billion, multi-trillion, like nowadays, like Apple and Google, those are unicorn, multi-trillion dollar companies. That's when you made it. That's when you have power. That's when you, like, there are literal laws being put in place, like, bro, court cases against Apple because they're trying to control too much. Like, they had to legally step in because they had the resources and everything was approved on the business side. But the government was like, that would give you entirely too much control. That's when you've made it. In my eyes, you could be an 8-figure entrepreneur right now, but if you aren't doing anything for the black community shouldn't be supporting you. Like, you got young men that are coming up looking for opportunity. They done removed basically every recreational type of business from their community, every healthy food alternative, decent clothing. You got dollar stores, you got White Castle, liquor stores, all they growing up where everybody's smoking, they closing the schools. What do you expect them to do other than shoot at one another? And you somewhere in your Caucasian neighborhood with your Benz, that's what I mean when I say European liabilities, the Louis Vuitton, all the BS that really doesn't matter, that they gonna make outdated so you would buy the new one. I digress. Like, that's what I mean when I say that the white man is controlling our people. They control the narrative. They create a bag which is delivered to the customer for $100, maybe a few hundred if it's coming from overseas, $1,000. Y'all buying designer clothes because it got a white man's name on it. You gonna pay a 1,000% markup on that item and then wear it in front of people like you didn't just spend a month's worth of your salary on it? That's a mental issue. They're controlling our minds right now. So the dynamic that I see in our people to make it solution oriented. Right now, the younger generation is focused on who got the most bodies, whether that be females or whether if you in the streets, you understand what I'm saying. And the older generation is complaining about the younger generation and almost blaming them. The older generation has to realize the opportunity that the younger generation has. In addition to that, recognize that kids are just parrots. They're little products of their, like, whatever you say, they're going to, like, how did your son or daughter learn their first words? Because they heard it. And they heard it enough times for it to register. And they heard it used in context enough times to be able to put sentences together. They're a product of their environment. So if you teach them financial literacy, if you teach them husband and wife, if you teach them unity, if you teach them assets over liabilities, if you teach them keep the black dollar in the black community for more than 6 hours from an early age, what do you think our communities would look like? In my eyes, that's much better than me getting up on social media complaining about diversity and equity policies. What are you doing to intentionally drive change in your community? Now, you can't do it alone. And this is not a immediate thing. That's why I said a 50-year mentality, because that's what they have for our communities. That's how developments come into fruition, like the development they about to do on the United Center, which if you're not in tune, you probably don't even know about. Them about to do a $7 billion. That means the whole West Side is a financial opportunity right now. The West Side was a financial opportunity when I was born. Back when Robert Taylor and Cabrini Green and all them, it was the meatpacking district, which I learned through my mentorship because I respect my elders. Just older people in general, like listen to what they're saying because they live longer than you. Even though life is different now, the opportunity is different now, take everything with a grain of salt and take everything for what is it that why are they sharing this with me? You have to assume that mentality because they don't know what they're talking about. The world is different. History is trying to repeat itself right now because they know that when you purge people of their history, they're going to do whatever you want them to do. They want you to pick up a gun with a switch and make a video on Instagram.
Bog. Macaroni time.
And that's what everybody doing. They want you to sit up and do 1v20 so it ain't no strong. How can we build a Rothschild or a Rockefeller or a Vanderbilt fund if we doing 20v1s, bro? And this is what people sit up and watch on a daily basis.
Because that's what people want to see. I was literally about to say that because that's what people want to see.
That's how they was raised. They raised consumerism. We need to be raising our kids on be a producer because everything that you do, whether you are acknowledging it or not, you're consuming. Like Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, TV, all the TV shows you watch on a regular, like the places that you go eat at, all of that is consumerism. You have to raise your kids to be a producer. Don't get them no technology until they like 10. Especially if they got siblings. Make them go outside. And tell them why. One thing God dropped in my spirit is my kids, when they do something wrong, I'm going to tell them why they shouldn't be doing it, and then I'm going to tell them not to do it. If they do it again, first of all, you're going to look stupid because I told you not to do it, and I told you why. Second of all, you're getting a whooping because spare the rod, spoil the child. And at this point, you're just doing it just to do it because I just told you not to, and I told you why you shouldn't be doing it.
To Cam's future kids, when he say do something, get your ass up and do it right now. And you gotta look at them like this, cause that's how they know you serious. If you like go back to like a straight face, they gonna think you bullshitting, and they not gonna do it. So when you do it the first time, you tighten your lip up. So no, I agree with you at first. We gonna start with the Cam, little Cam, cause Cam Junior, little Junior. Get up and go wash some dishes and help your mom get them groceries and stuff out the car. You went back to doing what you was doing. You came back. Look, Cam still sitting his little fat ass right there. Cam, get your ass up and go help your mama get them groceries out of the car. Do you understand me? And you gotta have base on a do you understand me? Because that's when he needs to understand you not playing. So then when he wake up out the bed and he go like this to see it, your face gotta be like this. Cause nigga, I'm not playing with you. Now you go back and do what you got to do, and he's still laying there. Rock bottom his little ass.
Bro, rock bottom is hilarious, bro. Well, I feel like it boils down to. Okay, I feel like this is accurate. I believe that it boils down to fear, arrogance, and ignorance in the black community. Fear of the white man and what the white man gonna do, or fear that it ain't gonna work, or we don't have an alternative. If we don't build our own, we gonna continue to be slaves. Like, how can you not be a slave if you don't build your own? If y'all got a solution, drop it in the how could you not be a slave if you don't have your own? If you don't have equity, if you don't control what goes into your community? Think about it. This is slavery. We don't control anything that actually matters. Oh yeah, we dominate social media. I was just talking to my pops. He like, yeah, you got niggas in Detroit. Oh yeah, we kill people for real. You got niggas in Chicago. Oh yeah, we got body. We kill people. Like, that's the problem. Like, y'all are doing their job for them, and then they helping y'all.
School them, educate them.
So look, when I say arrogant, I'm talking about uppity Negroes. When I say ignorance, I'm talking about the uppity Negroes that don't understand that, yes, you have the power to change it financially, but it's about your skill set. It's about your experiences. It's about your mentorship. It's about you going and intentionally connecting with said individuals.
This is how uppity Negroes look.
Actually, yeah, you really can tell. Like, you can read the energy. I ain't gonna lie. Connect with the teachers, bro. The kids, the people that work with kids on a daily basis. The people that are working with your target audience. This whole thing is about if you want to be a leader, if you want to be that nigga, like, bro, it's about leadership. It's about you connecting with people and changing your community. That's a reason to get up. Like, what does life look like after the Ferrari, after the mansion? Because that's all our people are thinking about. Because we in a state of surviving, not in a state of living. It's not enough for our people living. Everybody just get up, go to work, do the same thing 50 years and try to retire. Because if y'all paying attention, they're rescinding pensions and they're rescinding retirement plans. What's the alternative? Is history not repeating itself right now? What's the alternative? You don't need diversity.
We get it together. We gonna get it together. What's 2025? By 2075, we are gonna have it together. All black people are going to stand strong and build and live happily ever after by 2075. Because I had a dream that one day black men and white men would be able to like go in the Macy's at the same time and like Foot Locker and stuff. And we gonna have literally Black Wall. So it's gonna be Black Wall Street. So do you want it to be where we ain't even effing with the white people in 50 years and it's just us? Or we gonna all be included?
So that's a key topic, like integration. So I say I've met some cool white individuals, and it will be necessary to collaborate with different races, but I believe that as far as the development side of it, as far as building, as far as this first 50 years, this first next 50 years, it has to be primarily black. And the only reason I say that is because, yes, I actually have white friends at this point in my life, which is kind of funny. Other races respect you more when you do it. Like, can't nobody else take accountability for something that you did. Can't nobody else say, oh, we built that, like, when y'all do it yourselves. Because do we not have people with the degree? Everybody talk about their degree. Everybody talk about how much money they got. Like, we have the resources. We just not putting them together. So that sense of pride comes from the fact that we the ones that did it. Mm-hmm. And that can't be replaced. And your friends, if your white friends can't understand that, they want to distance yourself. But the ones that do, those are the ones that you build a relationship with. And at the same time, that's discernment. That's a prayer I have over myself and every other black leader is like, it's about discernment. Because everybody has ulterior motives. My ulterior motives, most of the people I associate with, I believe are to bring the best out of them. Even if I'm on them, almost irritating them to the point where they don't want to talk to me because every time we talk, it's productive. But when you're older, you're going to appreciate that. Because it's people 40, 50, 60 wishing that they would have lived a different life. They didn't have somebody like me in their ear. So I'm going to be the friend that you need. Maybe not the friend that you want. But you're going to see the difference as you get older. And
you better want a friend like this. This the kind of friend you want on phone number.
I know this may sound like a lot of work. We talking about 50 plus year plans, but as I said, at the end of the day, what's the alternative? Because no disrespect, but clearly you being a diehard Democrat is not the solution. We have to do more. Yeah. We have to be intentional. We have to do it as a unit. We say one city at a time, that's cool, but if you do it and you tell the next city what you did, it's going to compound. All my finance people understand compounded interest. It's going to compound. When you lead by example, that's the difference. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't even gonna say that, bro. But if everybody like focuses on themselves and what they can do and connecting with the people that have the skill sets that are necessary for them to thrive as a unit in every city, that's it. So, with that said, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I pray that y'all have a blessed day.
Barely got to say anything this episode. Bye.